I was having a conversation with a friend a while back, and he told me that when he visited Africa, there was a small tribe with a lot of unfortunate disabilities, making it so they couldn't really get around much. They had to rely on other people volunteering and hospitals. But one thing that he said to me was very interesting, and I'll never forget it. He said that these people were the most happy and the most joyful people he has ever met. Despite having these awful situations, they never stopped smiling. A lot of times I feel like some of the most fun and happy and amazing people you could ever meet are also in some of the most unfortunate or sad situations, or were previously in one, which I think is a very interesting fact. Now, what does this have to do with a talking dog who goes on an adventure with a talking lizard and a talking cat who rides a motorcycle, who's also friends with a panda with ice powers and they're also fugitives? I'll get to that. Milla as a character is not particularly an original idea, but I think she executes the idea very well. Having the cute character that everyone wants to protect is nothing new, and it's been done a lot in a lot of different forms of media. But I think one thing that a lot of versions of these characters get wrong is they're just kind of shallow. They don't really have much depth to them besides the cute character, and for what it is, that's fine. But Milla, on the other hand, has a lot more depth than just being the cute character. And going back to what I said earlier, a lot of times people born in unfortunate situations usually are the most positive outlook. You would think someone born in an unfortunate situation would be sad all the time or mad all the time, but it's actually the opposite. When you look at Milla, she was born in a very unfortunate situation, being from another planet and somehow ended up on Avalis and is now just an orphan chilling in the woods. You would think that she would be very sad and negative all the time, that she was taken away from her parents so soon. But as soon as she meets Lilac, she's shy a little bit, but immediately compliments her and is very sweet and nice. She even gives people the benefit of the doubt, like Brevin when he was mocking her. This shows that she is completely innocent. I mean, literally, she put googly eyes on a tree stump and made it her friend. This dog is completely innocent. And it shows that even when you're born in a bad situation, you necessarily don't have to be negative all the time. A lot of people you'll talk to that survived big wars, like being the citizens in those big wars, usually tend to be very positive people, because they know how terrible things can get. And having bad times makes them appreciate the good times. And I think this also shows in Milla. She doesn't really look too far ahead. She just kind of lives in the moment, just to enjoy what's with her now. She wants to enjoy everything that happens to the fullest. If something bad happens, she'll try to see the good in it. This is because she knows how bad things can get, and she's been in those bad situations before. But those bad things happening just made the good things even better. I mean, Milla is in the middle of a war in the first game, and she consistently is positive throughout the entire game. The only time she gets negative is when Lilac and Carol are arguing, and I guess when Carol and Spade are arguing, but that was for like a split second. And I guess that non-canon thing where she saved Carol, but whatever, that doesn't count, that's non-canon. Another thing I think Milla's character does very well is the innocence of a child. Milla is very clearly unaware of what is happening. She knows that there's an ongoing war and bad stuff is happening, but she doesn't quite understand the severity of what's happening in the first game. In the second game, she's a little bit more aware, but she doesn't care as much. She doesn't decide to stress over it as much as other people, and she doesn't decide to freak out as much as other people. She just kind of goes with the flow because she knows she's doing the right thing, and that it will be okay in the end. She doesn't even freak out when Carol leaves because she knows that's what Carol does. This is just what happens in life. Milla is a valuable part of the team because she keeps everyone in a positive mood when she can. And the few times that she is down, the others can help her up. It's a great team dynamic. You got speed, you got power, and you got brains. That makes a pretty good team, and it is kind of a mirror of Sonic, but they execute it in a different way. Tails is cute, but he's nowhere near as cute as Milla. Like, let's be real, guys, come on. He's also a different kind of science guy than what Milla is. Milla is alchemy, and Tails is more mechanics and machinery. So they solve situations differently in the narrative. Like, for instance, Milla can't build a spaceship to go to Bakunawa like Tails can, and Tails can't invent a potion to cure the metal virus like Milla can. I mean, potentially could. It depends on how smart the writers want to make the characters. I think Milla's character also emulates the Freedom Planet community as a whole. A lot of communities get spoiled because they get a lot of stuff. The Zelda community gets mad when their game is not a 10 out of 10 masterpiece and is only a 9 out of 10 masterpiece because their games are so consistently good, so a 9 out of 10 is trash. And looking at the Mario community, man, I don't even know what's happening over there. It seems like if you're negative, it's a controversy, and if you're positive, it's another controversy. That community is just imploding as we speak. They're talking more about the game prices than they are the actual games. And looking at the Sonic community, Sonic has been getting a lot of stuff recently, and I think it's been a good thing. But I do think it's been getting to people's heads. This is the best Sonic has ever looked in a while, and I think people forget how rough we had it in the early 2010s. So all that to say, I think when you're a fandom of a big franchise, you kind of get spoiled of content. With Freedom Planet, it's been around 11 years and we've gotten 2 games, and people don't talk about them. So any information or news gets treated like it's national headlines in the community, and it makes people more appreciative of what we have. I mean, it's a miracle that we even got Freedom Planet 2 in the first place. That game was in development hell for the longest time, and I think Milla shows that really well. Definitely not intentionally, but it's something that I thought was pretty neat, and I only noticed it when I was writing the script. She's more appreciative of things that happens, and I think that also emulates the Freedom Planet community. Yeah, they beg for Freedom Planet 3 every 5 seconds, but whenever someone mentions Freedom Planet, like when Cybershell just showed an image of it, everyone freaked out. Heck, there was a guy who mentioned Freedom Planet in the replies of a Reddit thread, and people screenshotted it and freaked out. Some random dude mentioned Freedom Planet and people went crazy. Another thing that I don't think is talked about much when it comes to characters in general, and something that I didn't really talk about in my Lilac video, and it is how their gameplay is compared to how their character is. Milla is a very defensive type fighter. She uses shields and she throws cubes in the first game. She isn't a powerhouse, but if you use her right, she can pull off some pretty cool stuff. She's more of a tricky character. This also emulates her character. She's more defensive, she's not quick to fight people, but she's pretty smart and can probably outsmart the situation in a fight, using shields as opposed to blunt force weaponry. Like, for example, Nira is more of a powerhouse, and she would definitely be more quick to violence. Or Carol being chaotic with her motorcycle and blowing stuff up. She does have a really big blast that you can do, but you kind of rely on this thing for boss fights. So she's definitely more of a defensive type character, which definitely emulates her character very well, and is less quick to violence. Though some stuff that she says is pretty questionable. Though not on purpose. And I think that leads easily to my next point, and that is she's super smart, but she's also a little naive. She's incredibly smart, being able to make these potions and stuff that no one else can make, but she's at times not the sharpest tool in the shed. There's a difference between being dumb, and there's a difference between being naive. It's more like a way of Goku. Yes, Milla is Goku, confirmed. Goku is naive, but he's not stupid. He's smart when it comes to things that he knows, like fighting. Same as for Milla. Milla is very smart when it comes to her potions, but not a great expert when it comes to social situations or critical thinking. This has actually led to the theory that Milla has autism, and while not directly confirmed, I could see it. And I don't want to jump to any conclusions because nothing's confirmed, but it's a cool theory, and I think I could actually believe it. And I actually do believe the theory that Goku has autism, just because I think it's funny that the main character who can shake an entire universe has a touch of the tism. But Milla can also shake an entire universe, so I guess it's not that different. For my last point, I want to make this. And this is probably the most important point of this entire video. Milla is always happy because she's an innocent child, but another one of the biggest reasons why she's always happy is because she's so selfless. Milla cares about other people more than she does herself. She puts others above herself whenever something bad happens. She always asks if everyone else is okay before she addresses herself. She doesn't like talking about her past with other members of Team Lilac very often because she likes living in the moment, and she wants to focus on other people. The only time she likes talking about her past is when it's about her parents, which is, again, other people. And that, I think, is why she's happy all the time. Instead of self-this, self-help, she's selfless. And when you put your cards into other people and you focus on other people more than yourself, you're actually helping yourself more than you realize. And I think Milla shows that. A lot of times we'll try to help ourselves, like working out or changing our diet, which can help and is good, and you should do those things. But sometimes just helping other people is the best thing you can do for your mental health. Anyway, I don't really have a good way to end this video, so enjoy a random meme, and I'm going to cut the end here. So yeah, peace. Wake me up and can't wake up. Wake me up and save me. Oh, my name is save me from.
Stay classy.
My channel members are Sid Yoshi, Jeremy Afrey, Emrick's Animations, Nira Lee, Arthur's Foul Scrap Jr., Rio Man Sonic, Morpho Knight, K Rain, Arnie Armadillo, Doomer Dahlia, 4GGS, Lane the Infamous, and Hayden Richardson. Thank you all for being members. And if I mispronounce your name, please correct me, but don't insult me. I have a very, very small ego.